Doing my video today, doing my own at-home do-it-yourself electrolysis system, clean rust off of a part. Got my water, plastic jug, got my battery charger. This is a small, cheap one from Walmart. It's used for motorcycles, scooters, mopeds, all that. Got broken old tire iron that I had cut up for a piece. It's fairly clean on rust, so I'm going to use it as my throwaway piece for the rust to go to. I just have this old rusted steel coupling for piping and everything. Since it's pretty well rusted and it really isn't, I don't have anything for it. I'm going to use it as my test piece to get rid of the rust. And then the Arm & Hammer super washing soda. This is for the chemical to be put in jug. Don't use borax. My first thought after watching the videos is, well, maybe I can use borax, but I can't. And I'm going to be doing a test to show what the difference is with the side-by-side test of one being borax, one being the super washing soda. And just to show this is the effect of both of them. And that'll be another video on another day, because this does take a little bit of time. It's not something that's going to be an instant one and done thing. It does take several hours to do. You got to let it go. All right, now I'm going to mix it. I add the laundry washing soda. They say use between a half a cup and a cup for every 5 gallons. This isn't even a gallon, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Put about a quarter or so in. Don't have to put a whole lot, just enough to really give it the reaction, and so it isn't diluted by the water. You take your rusted piece, hook it to your negative. Now you can, this one I'm setting in the water. It's quite alright to actually put your negative in the water, but make sure you do not put your positive in with it. Don't let the positive go in the water. It has to sit outside the water. Now, I know this is kind of a heavy piece for this, but you might be able to get it to stay. Make sure it's in the water, all of it. Don't let the pieces touch, because being electrical, it will have its normal effect. Now, do is plug it in. Mine is just plug in. Doesn't have an on-off switch, so instantly powered on. And then you just have to let it sit. As it goes, it'll actually has the chemical effect you'll start seeing. So about every hour or so, I'll come out and just kind of compare it. Because I'm using the clear jug to show so you can actually see what the chemical is. Now this is something you can use on a bigger scale. You can actually enlarge it. I've seen people do this size test, but I've actually seen somebody use those big plastic kiddie pools on a part, and that still worked, because they just basically upgraded or just added more pieces for the battery charger to connect to. Within just a couple seconds, that you can actually start seeing the change. Now this is just a couple seconds of plugging it in. All I needed to do is grab my camera so I can get a better look on it. Kind of sucks with the shape of it. It kind of distorts the picture. But you can see, especially if you look at the negative terminal, the clamp, you can already see how much it's actually working. I've seen people actually stir up the water, kind of mix it all together. On this one, I'm just testing to see what's going to happen if I just set it all in together and see what happens to it. I'll let about 5 minutes go by, show you guys what it looks like, and then after that I'll start doing longer times of showing. It's like an hour or every 2 or 3 hours. Usually I see people do it where they have to sit and do, or they actually let it go overnight. That I'm not going to test yet, but I really don't like having stuff like this running while I'm asleep and not know something could happen and I lose everything. As a just safety precaution, don't do this stuff while is don't risk it. Being electrical, of course, is fire hazard. So just let it go, see how it goes on after a couple of minutes. And I'll show you more. And then I'll start doing my every couple intervals of hour or so. And you can kind of see this is about 5 minutes after connecting it and plugging it into the wall. You can see the actual chemical reaction working. Starts setting off, or starts separating the rust and affecting it. It starts raising, all the particles actually start raising to the top, and with the electrical connection, the rust is supposed to go to the positive part of it all, which is my tire iron. So I'll check back probably about an hour, see how it's doing. Most likely is, from what I know and I've seen on other people, about an hour, you actually start seeing a big difference in just the water itself, because it'll actually be a bunch of the film and everything will start forming at the top. It makes it harder to see. And if you look from the top, the top view of it, you can kind of see a chemical reaction coming out as it goes, and the film starts building up more. I'll actually be able to see where the bubbles are coming off my negative end. Alright, this is not quite an hour, it's just a little shy. When I first started, off the top, you can already see that it's already starting to turn into a soup. It's got the rust color, starts forming at the top. If you can see it, it's kind of hard with using this. You can actually see the agitation in the water of where the negative is coming up. And the positive is that you can see it going to it. Now, since I did my last part of the video, I actually added more water just so it could get higher up and give me more contact on the tire iron. And on the piece, it clear as day. You can see it is doing something. How the chemicals are actually reacting with the rust. Is that all I did? Just add water a little more, because I wanted a better contact in the water for it. But you can even tell I haven't done anything, I haven't unplugged it, none of that, so it's still going good. Alright, checked on it. It's about a little over an hour since the last time I looked at it. You can kind of see a little bit of film buildup. It's kind of like a foam. It's definitely working. You can see around the iron, it is doing something. And it's definitely working good. But unplug it and actually pull it out, see what it looks like. Make sure you unplug it whenever you're doing this. grab a towel, kind of wipe it off, see what's going on with it. All right. As you can see, actually got rid of the rust. And that was only a couple hours on a fairly small piece. Or it leaves a black residue. Might just take acetone and wipe it off. And probably don't even have to put it back in. There's still a little rust, but not much. Well, at least it worked. Well, after that was just a little over an hour, well, maybe 2. That's how it turned out. So the next video, my next one, I'm going to go ahead and just test. I'm going to go use borax, compare the two, do the side-by-side test. So watch for it whenever I post it. Thank you.